Okay guys, Faye and I just got back from a long bike trip. 40 some kilometer bike trip to take the phone back, and this was our uniform that we wore. It was a night ride, and I'll tell you about it when I get undressed. Okay guys, out of the garb now. A little bit of a nerve-wracking trip. I must say something about the bike. With my wife on the back, in the traffic, slow speed, it's not as stable as I'd like. I think maybe the rake's a little bit too short. I didn't really get into weaving in and out through the traffic like the other bikes. I did in some instances where I had plenty of room. Really got to watch behind you. They just come up like crazy on you. You just get swarmed like bees with bikes, so you got to be real careful of that. Right before we got to Toto's apartment, we had a mangy stray dog come out from underneath a truck. And I rested my hands on the brake. If I wouldn't have, we may have hit him. The good Lord was riding with us, or we'd have hit him. We just got stopped enough that he went through. This is something you're going to run into. You couldn't see him because he was dark colored. And then when we were going up the road a little bit more, that whole area is just full of strays, black dogs running around in the street. So I didn't care about the folks behind me. I put her in second and just cruised real easy. We did adjust the headlights some more to get it down more in front. We were on a really bad road with speed bumps, and they're not painted here, guys. There's no warning on these things at all. So we knew they were coming up. I didn't know where they were, so I just got in behind another vehicle. And that way, when he stopped, I was good. We got the phone back to her brother-in-law. Coming back was a little bit less traffic until we got into Lipa, but I was getting kind of my sea legs with her, and I was even telling her, just sit still, don't wiggle and look around. You know, this bike is not as stable as the other two I had here. I had that Rouser 135, which was fantastic, and then I had the Honda 150. I believe that was a TM. It wasn't a TMX. I'm not sure, but it was a tricycle bike set up for it. I didn't like that one because the shifter was backwards. This one also, you have to keep in your head, count your gears, because I was coming up on a slow speed, and I thought I was in second gear, and I knocked it down into neutral, and then you got to hook your foot. I can't get my foot back to that thing because I'm not going to bend it out. I'm afraid I'm going to hit it, but you got to get your foot up underneath it to get power again. So that I'm going to have to rectify somehow with the foot shifter. So, and count my gears. So all the way home, I was counting the gears, making sure I was in them. I do think first gear could be a little bit lower. It's too much riding the clutch in the slow speed stuff, so I think I'm going to swap that front sprocket out at the service. I don't need to go super fast. I did have it by myself up to 90 kilometers an hour, and I could have took it up a little more than that. I'm sure it would have easily hit 100 because I was still accelerating, but then traffic was way out ahead, so I just let her down. It seems to be a good bike, and once my wife, when we got back into traffic, she stuck right behind me and didn't wiggle, and it was a lot easier for me. The stress was off once she did that. But any of her moving or turning around and looking like this, it was just upsetting the bike. Not once we were moving. Once we were rolling, it was fine. What she did was not a big matter. But when we were in first gear, getting through this traffic, she's got to sit completely still because it's unsettling. It wasn't too good at all, and gotta keep watching. I was watching my mirrors the best I can, but you'll get a guy where you're doing 40 on the road. You can't go off to the right because the jeepneys and they got these little cars stopping, holding out a sign in the lane, in your lane. So I'm in the middle lane. We had a guy pass us doing about 90. Just off to the right, close. I mean, he very close to our handlebars. I'm sure he knew what I was doing, but it's unnerving, guys. It just, it's not like driving in the States. You do get some buttholes every now and again, but here we're riding motorcycle in butthole central. I'm not taking my wife on any more night rides through the city like that. If I do something like that, I'm going to go alone, because we don't need both of us getting plastered, that's for sure, on the highway. So that's probably going to be the last trip, unless we go out towards Padre Garcia late at night when there's not a lot of traffic. But you still got the dogs, and it's just amazing. They're just everywhere. They don't leash them. They don't belong to anybody. You hit one, your bike gets smashed, you get hurt, you're out of luck. It's on you. So know that, know that for sure when you get here. We know it, but you have to really be careful. If you're in an unknown place, like it was only the second time I was there, and it was the first time at night going to Toto's, I just went nice and easy. I wasn't sure. Plus, the road is horrible, and if you go off the side of the road too, there's these big drop-offs where if you did go off the side of the road, you're in trouble. You're going to drop off and wreck, because they drop off 10 inches to a foot in a lot of areas, and the road was concrete with huge ruts in it. When we were coming out, we got behind a guy on a bike, and I kind of just followed him. Because he knew the road, so he knew how to shoot over. And a couple guys that were behind us didn't pass. They knew better, because they knew I was going to be following that guy and zigzag, and they knew it, so it was like a line. Hey, that's a good airplane, mister. Let's see if it flies good. Hey, that's a good one. You fly it now. Hey, that's a really good airplane, mister. Hey! Okay, loop-de-loop it over there by Maddie. He's got himself a little plane. Mama's here, Coco's here. He got a job, so he may start tomorrow, depending. But he's staying over there in the thing, and they got him. He's here. He said he'll work and do anything they want him to. So they said, okay, tomorrow he might be working at the digging. We're real glad he's got that. Because down around their area, there's just not as much construction stuff. Even the other brothers working way out here in Malvar. We actually went all the way back through town, across the Malvar exit, and then way in more. It was 40 plus kilometers we did on the round trip, and we had a few spots where we were able to zoom up, but we had a tricycle pull right out in front of us. We were coming along. The right lane was blocked again by these vehicles, just decided to park, and he looked right at us and didn't care. He just absolutely didn't care, pulled in front, and it was all the brakes we could get. There was my first full brake test, and I'm glad there wasn't anything slick on the road. He didn't care. Also, we had another guy in front of us on a trike going pretty quick. I like to leave following distance, but they just jam in around you so terrible. It stops with no brakes, no brake lights, no lights at all on this bike. So, here we go. So, but I'm going to let you go. That's our ride tonight. It was really something, and my beautiful little Dolly's going to say...
Don't forget to pray for each other. This is Rick Shaw's. Bye-bye. Rick Shaw out!